There's a whole lot of talk around Diljit Dosanjh's Satluj. After it was taken down from Zee5 2 days after its OTT release, the film is inspired by the life of human rights activist Jaswant Singh Khalra, whose work exposed one of the most disturbing chapters from Punjab's militancy years. Earlier titled Punjab 95, the film is directed by Honey Trehan and features Diljit in the central role, alongside Kanwaljeet Singh, Arjun Rampal, Suvinder Vicky, Geetika Vidya Holan and others. And joining me right now is Kanwaljeet Singh. Thank you so much, sir. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. First question, did you really expect what happened to Satluj the way it happened?
No, yeah, there was no expectation because I didn't know the film as it's on ET now, the OTT, and I was shooting, like I said, I was shooting in Patiala for Bone Bomb for a Netflix series, and suddenly I get a message that it's releasing tomorrow, trending from tomorrow. मैंने कहा ठीक है भाई, लेकिन किसी ने पब्लिसिटी नहीं की, किसी ने कुछ नहीं किया, and does anyone know about it? पता लगे in the 2 days everybody was talking about it, you know. And third day it was taken off. By the time I reached Bombay, and I'm looking for the film, and there was no film. So I called Hani, my director, Honey Trehan साहब, and I said, "ये film कहाँ है?" कहने लगे उन लोगों उतार दी. मैंने कहा अच्छा, तो कहने लगे हाँ नहीं हम कोर्ट में जाएंगे. So they are planning to go to the court. Planning क्या उन्होंने already कर लिया होगा.
How was your experience with the movie? I'm sure you went through the script, your concerns. Obviously, you must have loved the script. That's why you did it.
Yeah, see, the first thing I was attracted to it was because it was part of the history which was never told. You know, nobody knew about it. Maybe a few people in Punjab, but the rest of the world didn't know about it. And I wanted to be part of it because, firstly, because of that, and because of the character that I was playing was interesting, and he had deep involvement with whatever was going on there. And for an actor, it's always, it's a great idea to be doing something different. And mostly people associate with me with Sanjida roles, and or as a sahi roles, and not naughty boys. So that's what attracted me, and I read and I saw everything about him on net, and the character started to become so interesting that I enjoyed doing it.
So, what you're talking about your character. What is the character in the film? Do you really want to talk a little about it?
Mike, you haven't seen the film?
No, no, I haven't, sir. It went off the OTT platform much faster than I could even get myself to see it.
People are watching it. People are watching it more because people who weren't going to watch it now, because they are more curious, and they want to know what exactly is wrong or right with the film. So then it's become viral, and people are sending me downloaded stuff. समझे ना? तो मैं क्या करूँगा? I will not watch it unless it's on the right format, because after all, they have put in time, money, and effort. तो वो तो रायगा नहीं जानी चाहिए ना, वेस्ट नहीं जानी चाहिए. तो we'll wait.
Coming back to what you were talking about your character, is it now real versus real in terms of the differentiation becoming far more unreal? It's very hard to differentiate in how people interpret cinema.
See, I was telling somebody that this is a point of view of a person, that is Hani Trehan and his writer, है ना? अब इसी यही फिल्म कोई और बनाएगा तो it would seem different. Suddenly these guys will change, ये क्या कहते हैं, antagonists will change, or the protagonist will change, because स्वैप हो जाएंगे। जैसे ताजमहल के बारे में सो मेनी व्यूज, शायर लिखते हैं शहनशाह ने बनवा के हंसी ताजमहल, हम गरीबों का उड़ाया है मजाक, मेरी महबूब कहीं और मिला कर तुमसे। और ये शकील बयानी लिखते हैं कि एक शहनशाह ने बनवा के हंसी ताजमहल, हम गरीबों को मोहब्बत की निशानी दी है, सारी दुनिया को मोहब्बत की निशानी दी है। तो ये दो पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है। अब मुझे क्या मालूम, अब एवरी वर्क ऑफ आर्ट और फिल्म और बुक और पेंटिंग इज द इंटरप्रिटेशन ऑफ द पर्सन हु इज ऑब्जर्विंग इट।
Hmm.
मुझे वैन गॉग के फूल अलग लगते हैं, मुझे उसमें सैडनेस लगती है, किसी को उसमें ब्राइटनेस लगती है, फ्यूचर लगता है, पॉजिटिविटी लगती है, कुछ भी है। तो ये है। अब मुझे नहीं मालूम क्या है। आई आई एंजॉयड रीडिंग द स्क्रिप्ट when it was narrated to me. I enjoyed it, and because my director's father was also affected by the situation then,
Hmm.
and so it was hard hitting. Of course, everybody knew it was going to be a
Hmm.
hard hitting film, but then a lot of water has flown under the bridge now. 95 की बात है, अब 2026 आ गई, तो time heals wounds, you know. अब वो रिएक्टिव मेंटेलिटी नहीं रहती। पीपल सी इट ऑब्जेक्टिवली एंड ट्राई टू फिगर आउट कि भाई, एंड दे सी इट एज अ हिस्टोरिकल फैक्ट। अब शिंडलर्स लिस्ट आई स्पीलबर्ग की, तो ऐसा थोड़ी होगा कि जर्मन्स एंड ज्यूज विल स्टार्ट फाइटिंग अगेन, ऐसा नहीं होता है। हाँ, अगर इनफैक्ट मार्चिस के टाइम पे आई कुड अंडरस्टैंड, बिकॉज मार्चिस वाज क्लोजर टू द फैक्ट, closer to the events. But this has been long now. तो ये सब तो होगा ही. But it was, you see, they are strangling the so-called freedom of speech, and everybody talks so much about freedom of speech. But where is it? This is this kind of thing is not done. और आपने ही approve किए भाई, आपने ही कहा go ahead, and then a third day it was taken off without any reaction from the people they thought would react. There was no reaction, no negative reaction, no violent reaction, nothing.
Now, you speak about freedom of speech. We'll just get to that. But you just spoke about permissions. But unlike a release in theatres where you need CBFC permission or certification for that matter, you need none of it really for an OTT release. Um, so there were concerns, what we're being told, what we're learning is there are concerns around national security, national interest, and that's why it's been really taken off.
Security नहीं, certification. Security
No.
को तो कुछ हुआ ही नहीं ना. People were watching it more than they would have if it was run on the OTT. और दूसरी बात मुझे बिल्कुल मालूम नहीं है इसका कि whether it had a certification or not. मुझे कुछ मालूम नहीं. It was going to Canada. वहां से it was pulled back. Why was it pulled back from Canada Film Festival? ये कट डाल दो, ये कट, उन्होंने कट भी कर दिया विद इन लास्ट मोमेंट. वहां तो कोई ऐसी बात नहीं थी कि फिल्म में सर्टिफिकेशन नहीं है, कुछ नहीं. So every time they are trying to get the film to be seen by the audience, by people, something or the other they come out with, remove the film from the format.
So questions are being raised around the timing of this release of this movie.
अरे वहां का सीएम एक्टर है भाई. He should be in fact helping us release the film. वो भी तो Bhagwant Maan has been an actor, and he sympathizes with our causes, and I don't know what he's doing for it, but then I expect him to do something to get the film back on track.
It's
No, no.
pulled back.
Do you expect them to color that?
Right. Why was the movie taken off, according to you?
I have no idea. I swear I would like to know it from you because you guys know more than me. मैं तो गरीब एक्टर हूँ, अपनी नौकरी करके निकल जाता हूँ, पर ये जो try to figuring out why it was released, why it was banned, and why it's not coming back again, and why it's being downloaded. How is it being downloaded? मुझे ये समझ नहीं आई. People wouldn't have downloaded it when it was there. Why should they download it when it is already in all the format? Why was it downloaded later, and how? And how is it being distributed? People are watching. मतलब it's going viral. We know it, especially in Punjab, the north. The whole north is watching it and liking it, and they're not being reactive. No, and they're just wondering, oh, really? Is this happened? I don't know. This is the point of view of my director and writer.
If you talk about Jaswant Singh Khalra, did you know this person before the movie?
No, see, my thing is that I was with everybody in the sense that uh, I was in the know-how till about these matters till Blue Star. After that, things were normal, and I don't live in Punjab. I used to live in UP, so it was removed from my this thing. And then suddenly I was asked to do this role. And what interested me that this Bitta was based on somebody very interesting. He's been, quite a man there. So that also kind of, aroused um, this to know what this guy was, how he thought, and how he worked, and all that. So that made it interesting for me as an actor.
Obviously, there's a whole lot of politics happening around this movie. There's screening in villages and gurudwaras that are being organized, is what we are hearing.
Screening. Are you kidding? They, as long as people जो भड़कते नहीं ये नहीं करते, they just watch it and see it philosophically rather than the reaction, violent reaction. It's fine. And let people know, let the new generation know what all happened. Where is the harm? Yeah. हाँ अगर अपनी country की security है at stake, then I would say yes. Then it would be different. But नहीं ऐसा नहीं है.
How do you see the screenings, the politics around the movie, Akali Dal and other parties positioning themselves?
I don't know. I see it as an artist, uh, and it's happened before also. It's happened with Hussein. It's happened with other people, other filmmakers, Irani in Iran. ये सब होता आया है. तो मैं तो यही कहूँगा कि वो एक फिल्म आई थी एक जर्मन फिल्म थी एंड उसमें an actor gets involved. He was close to the Reich बोलते हैं Reich था ना the ruling regime, and then he was in a stadium. There were people all around him with guns pointing at him, the army, the whole army, and they're pointing at him, and he's going, "Hey, listen, what are you doing to me? I'm just an actor." So we are, we are just an artist, and that's all we want to be. And let us do our job. You do your job.
Well, a movie is not seen in isolation. It's seen within a social fabric, social political fabric. And to those saying that why a movie like Satluj can be misused, what would your response be?
मैंने बताया ना, there are two point of views about Taj Mahal also, about painting, about any art. Books were banned. We know the kind of books were banned, but those books are being seen out elsewhere. Now this film is allowable everywhere else except for India. तो ये तो चलता रहेगा. There will always be dichotomy amongst you know people who see it, watch it. तो उसका कुछ मैं तो नहीं कर सकता. Let me do my job बस.
As an actor then, as an artist, how do you balance out, say, freedom of speech, concerns over national interest? How does that happen then as an artist?
Then I balance it out. I don't have to balance it out after it's released, after I've done the job. I have to balance it out when I hear the script. There are things. There was one script I refused because it was being made of by his money. The guy who shot this girl at the bar. मैं नहीं करूंगा, समझे ना? मैं करूंगा नहीं फिल्म. तो I have to decide when I read the script or I see the people who are making it or whatever. So I refuse the film.
That's you as a singular entity. As an industry, how is this viewed? Have things changed?
Freedom of speech जो मैंने पहले कहा ना कि as long as they don't uh, the nation is not thing at stake, the national whatever. So as long as that is not at stake, I think everybody has his point of view and should be allowed to show it to the world. या तो पहले उसको देख लीजिए. You can give the script to people, and it has happened before. The scripts have been given to the people concerned, and in this film was never going to be made because Khalra's family wasn't letting anybody make the film. But then, after all, they did because they thought they saw a lot of truth in this. People were painting it, in against the family or whatever. I don't know. I don't know the fact. So this film they saw, and the script at the script level or at the story level, I don't know. But and then they gave a go ahead to my director and the writer. तो देते ही नहीं थे.
In this case, the director, as well as Diljit Dosanjh for that matter, both have said that they are not surprised with what has happened with Satluj. Are you?
But which is really sad, because a lot of labor is gone, love gone into making of this film, and time. Most important time is 3.5, 4 years is a long time. Things become old and people don't bother to see them because ये तो बहुत पहले की बात है ये. But even in spite of all that, it has been able to get the audience for itself is a great thing. And let's see what happens. I'm just, waiting to see what these guys will be doing.
Now, as long as freedom of speech doesn't hinder national interest, that's what you say. But the concern is the very same, that Satluj possibly may just do that.
But are you seeing that happening? No. And it's been, like you said, I am surprised. It's been shown in Gurdwaras, you said, in the villages. Nothing happening. People are watching it like a historical drama. Yeah. Baki, they should allow it on, to be seen on the proper net so that the money and everything goes to the right person. Ronnie's, they have large hearts and large, and passionate about what they made. So they should be gratified.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kanwaljeet Singh. Thank you so much for joining us.